pressed. And are we live? We're live. Keith?
I got my gun in my boot purse, but I don't buzz back because I shoot first. Motherfucker. Oh, shit, we live in this bitch. Hey, welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Lucas would hate that. Our intern would hate when I would sing and be like, oh, shit, we're live. And he's like, you're the one who presses the button. You know if you're live or not. Anyway, I feel bad now. He killed himself. But anyways. Today's guest, fan-fucking-tastic. You love him. I love him. You know, if you go to keithandthegirl.com/ and you type in the guest name, you see all the shows they've been on. He has been on 34 shows so far, regular Keith and the Girl shows, never mind marathons, etc., other shit. In 2010 was his first episode. And I'm so stupid, I forget to go back and update a bio. And it says, comedian known for his appearance on Conan. Well, there's been a few other things. Mike Lawrence, how you doing, Mike?
Good.
Good to see you.
Now it's comedian known for his appearance on the canceled TBS show Conan.
But there's so many things. First of all, I see the Oscars are coming up again. Who's the guy? Yeah. Jimmy Kimmel is doing it for the fourth time. He said, I always wanted to do it 4 times. Do you have anything to do with that? It's so fun to see your name on stuff.
No, he usually just, you know, if it's a talk show guy, they often just, you know, have their staff work
gotcha
overtime.
right. Bupkis, what was your title on Bupkis? The Pete Davidson
supervising
TV
producer.
Show.
I did right on that, and I have been on tour with Pete Davidson all summer.
What is first of all, the show Bupkis? Congrats. Yeah. I enjoyed it very much, and I'm a very tough critic when it comes to TV shows.
I haven't heard him say I enjoyed it very much, and then we get to move on. So this is the highest compliment I've ever. Okay.
And I sincerely believe that I heard your rating in it. What does the title mean as opposed to writer? Do you make up the title? Do they make up the title?
It's all just like legal, you know, like the title kind of determines your pay, but when you're a writer, and this was it's actually I'll be real boring with you.
Yeah,
please.
You know, because this ties into the WGA strike and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like staff writer is your first, and then story editor, and then co-producer, producer, supervising producer. My next title will be co-EP, and usually like that title, whatever you have, you either keep it or you go up one on your next show.
Okay.
And so when you watch a show and it says like executive producer, like that's like the highest level writers a lot of times.
But you're still a writer. It's
you're in the writing room, and it's
funny.
just a title, but it's
boss
man. But it's awesome, and it means more money.
Good for you. Is there anything more fun than the writer's room? And sometimes I'm stupid that I don't think about it. Me and him, the right. You know, I play Destiny. Me, Adam, and Craig. No exaggeration. We're kind of rating for the show sometimes. But I'm picturing like a room of like 5 or 10 funny people where being funny is their job. Is anything more fun than that?
Yeah. Going on stage, like, depends. Like sometimes can be like a writer's room is fun, but there's like pressure to it. The beginning here's I always say this, and this is the best advice I could give to showbiz hopefuls. You know, you should always write the show you want to write until you have to write the show you're allowed to make. But if you miss that first part, then the job sucks. But if you're like, we can do anything, even though you know you can't, and there's going to be notes, and it's going to crush you creatively, you need to believe that you can, and that's the fun part. The first few weeks of a writer's job is amazing. Once it becomes like, oh, we have deadlines, we have to just get this done. It's still fun, but it's just work, and it can be very stressful.
Right. When do are the like I've heard the story of South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, and they wanted to show the puppets fucking, which they did, but they made
Team America. You mean
Team America? Sorry, and either one, but so I guess Team America. But it was it's fake dirty and all this, but they knew they'd have problems getting it through, so they made up sicker shit that they knew would get cut and they got to keep the stuff they want. Were there any tricks you had to do for, let's say, Bubkiss, where right away Pete Davidson ends up jerking off on his mom by accident because he's in VR? Do you deliberately say, hey, I got to set the tone right away?
Yeah, I mean, it was also, we kind of like had that freedom, but yeah, a lot of shows you have to do that. I have done that where you write the way darker stuff and then they're like, yeah, but you could do this. Okay.
What's one of the dark things that you wrote just thinking like this is going to go away, so let me write it?
I mean, I remember I worked on the Soup, the 2020 version, and
where they go through talk shows and TV shows and
and and you would like send them like 6 or 7 jokes and you can only do 2, and you'd write some really, like, if I wanted to write, like, because even that shit, like, they were afraid of you like calling someone like a has-been or a failure. So I would just write about them dying, how I wish they were dead. And then they're like, well, it's okay if you just write about being a failure.
What if you don't say they fuck animals? What if you just say they're a has-been? Okay, if I have to. It's my art, but okay.
Yeah. It's so interesting whenever you write on shows like about celebrities and all that. Like, like has-been jokes are often like considered some of the meanest because they're usually based in truth, and the talents, the talent gets genuinely salty, and so do their reps, because it shows that the reps aren't doing their job anymore.
But it also, I imagine the pitch for the quote has-beens to be on the show is, hey, you're you. You will always be famous. This is like, who else is in this? Don't worry about it. You're the superstar. Then all the jokes are about how you're a has-been, which you kind of knew. This is like, a C-level experience, but they hyped you up so that you would say yes to this, right? So now it's like you're falling even further down because they hyped you up.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I think it was on that show, or one of those shows. I think it was Soup. I was like, what you've never seen on Dancing with the Stars? Stars. and even that, well, we have a relationship with this person and that person. I'm like, you're not on there because things are heating up.
Was there now, this was on Peacock, Pupkiss, and now Amazon, right? Was there time constraints? Like, you really can't fit this joke in or this story because we have to get it down to a specific minute. Are there those constraints?
Yeah, that usually happens on set.
Okay.
Like, I've been on set, and that's its own thing. But that was one of the complaints with the writer's strike, was that writers weren't getting on set as much anymore, and weren't getting that experience. And shows kind of need writers on set because you get there and the thing doesn't look like what you thought, and so you have to write about it differently. Or when I did Crashing, it made me such a good writer. Apatow was the producer on that, and he would be like, write the 5-minute version of this scene, also write the 30-second version of this scene.
Oh, that's funny.
Does Judd Apatow sleep? He seems to be the producer on everything, writer, director.
Yeah,
his wife is on everything that I watch. Is it just my timeline?
It's pretty amazing.
It's unbelievable. It's new shows for Netflix. It's his own writings. It's his wife. It's his kids in there.
Yeah, it's documentaries. Yeah, no, he's awesome.
Bananas. I know his name. That's how much he's everywhere.
Like I said, he made me a better writer. Like, and like, one of the things on that show that I was taught is you always hear the phrase alts, right? Like, this is a big thing in writers' rooms. We need alts, like, alternative jokes. He would be like, what are true alts? Like, what are actual, like, because a lot of times when people send you like alts, they're just synonyms. They're just the same joke, but it's like, write the opposite of the joke, and maybe that's funnier. Like, sometimes if everybody's hating something, be the person that loves it.
Instead of saying like, instead of, I took the bus, instead of saying, no, I drove there. I didn't take the bus or drive there. I was suddenly on the beach or something, like completely not.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Do you think, and this isn't a hint or a thought I really have, I'm just curious, the end of Bob Kiss, he's a fuck up, he's half dead. He's he flips his car over, which let's get to this fucking car talk in a minute. But first of all, were you thinking, I want there to be kind of an end, but you know what? Let's do a trick because a season 2 would be nice.
This is the second one. You always want
Okay.
You always want that. Yeah, but technically,
when you
it was
see
all a dream,
right,
for Logan's reality,
right,
for my son's future.
When you see in the news, Pete Davidson in real life, another fucking car accident. What do we do? I mean, what could we do? Let's say we love Pete Davidson. What the fuck can we do with this motherfucker? Can't drive a car anymore in real life. What do we do? Do we email him? I'm scared.
I mean, he's never hurt anyone though. That's the amazing thing.
He's making me nervous. He's making me nervous.
I mean, that lets you know
the show is real.
Incredible Caitlyn Jenner is, right? Like Pete, 50 car accidents, 0 casualties. Caitlyn, 1.
Right. when you women drivers, they said, right? When you opened for Pete Davidson, and first of all, I've seen you in many venues. I've seen you in the round, and on Keith and Girl, you talked about being diagnosed with autism. Is the round any different? Or you're like, I don't make eye contact anyway. Who gives a fuck?
I love it. That was literally the first time I did the round. Was I was like, this is an autistic person's dream. A place where
it's not my fault. It looks like I'm trying, right?
Yeah, I was like, this is like in heaven for me. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, those shows are great, and it's also like it's the first time I've ever been conscious of my ass on stage.
That's funny.
I didn't think of that.
As people are just looking at your ass. So I was like, so those of you I'm struggling to make eye contact with, I have autism, and for those of you who have to look at my ass, I have Crohn's. So I apologize to everybody.
Right. I just got to remember if my fly is down. Yeah, that is a lot of pressure. You're right.
Yeah.
We were talking on the show the other day about Target, Walmart. These places are going to get rid of maybe self-checkout because people are stealing shit. And I know I have. If I'm on the third fucking bloop, come on, it's mine. First of all, are you personally less than honest at self-checkout? And do you ever use your autism as an excuse for something? Like if somebody stopped you and you're like, I don't fucking know. I can't even look you in the eyes.
No, my autism makes me have to purchase everything. I follow the law.
Okay.
I'm very strict about that stuff. If I'm with other people, I'm like, that you didn't pay for that banana. Like,
right.
I've been away since I was a kid. Like,
you like rules, right? Like it allows everything to be in its own box. It lets you know what box to put it in. It lets you know where you're going next. And if you don't have that check-in, then all the lists start messing up in your head, and you don't know what's next.
And I fucking love Target. It is autism heaven for me. Like just the aesthetic of it, the white and the red, the toys.
How great is IKEA Zeros? Those are pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I can't do IKEA.
Too much. Yeah.
No, it's too much. But I'll go to Target sometimes just when I'm having a panic attack.
Oh wow, that's funny.
Wait, I don't get what's good about it. You said the red, the circles. What is that? What
There's just a calmness there.
Is there a hypnosis to that Target sign? Did they do their research and it's like, come in here, look at our aisles?
But here's the thing. I've never been in a Target and felt panicked. Like even when they're packed, they're still relaxing to me. It's like Trader Joe's, anxiety, IKEA, anxiety, Walmart, poverty and anxiety. But
that's so weird. I get fucking itchy in Walmart because it's too big. Because I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm leaving. Home Depot, goodbye. IKEA for a while, but once I learned that you have to start at the beginning, you have to follow the arrows, go through the entire store. It's gonna take you a while. Then I'm like, okay, I could do IKEA now. Before I was like, please do not make me go inside this store. And if you do, we need to know exactly where we're going. We need to pick it up. We need to leave right away. Maybe ice cream on the way out because I'm sad now, but that's it. But yeah, these stores, I don't know. They drive me nuts.
Costco is like all those places. It's
I
because
can't go to Costco on a weekend.
a lot of those places, like here's a giant warehouse with a bunch of shit. You figure it out. Target's like, we thought of you. We considered
shit.
you. You matter to us.
Costco, those kind of BJs, they make me angry because I see other people's carts and I'm like, you're going to be here for hours. Tetris a motherfucking thing.
Yeah.
How the fuck are you going to carry 18 razors the way you just set up toilet paper? You're stupid, and I live on this planet with you. That angers me. Yeah, I'm gonna. What's the test you took? I got to take it too. I want.
Yeah, what does Keith have? What did he just say? If you could relate and you've been diagnosed, can you help him?
Do people want to be included, Mike? Are they like, maybe I have autism? It's
Right,
like, easy. It's not that fucking easy. It's like, I don't know. I want to be in every club.
Get your own spectrum, buddy.
Right.
Seats taken on the short bus, bitch.
You wrote on SNL because you were rating rather for Ice Spice. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Pete Davidson was on SNL recently.
Yeah. So I was there for the week. Yeah.
Were you part of what I understand is you're stressed out in the middle of the night for no fucking reason. You got to write this thing last fucking minute. It's Monday and they're like, you don't have to come to work till Tuesday. It's like, well, maybe we can sleep at night. I have a family and we work a little on Monday too. What was that like?
It was amazing. And they've like, I think that it's like gotten better with that stuff because I was ready to like do an all-nighter on Tuesday. And I think we left at 3, but everyone else was
obviously
already gone.
Right.
But I wrote a sketch. I pitched the sketch, and then I did punch up on some of the other sketches. I have a few jokes on the show, and
what was one of your favorites that made it that time?
In the Please Don't Destroy sketch.
Love those
when
guys.
they show the kids doing the urban
fuck yeah.
They're like Apollo. I had the line like, when you're with a girl and it's like Capri Sun, you can't open it, so you hit it from the back.
You know what I'm talking about, folks. That is so fucking funny. I sent that to everybody I know.
I pitched that. Yeah, that was and those guys were great, and they're like, yeah, we'll put it in there. So
that's great. That's fucking great. Yeah, I love seeing your name on shit. It's so fun. And speaking of your family, you and Adina, how long now? A decade about, right?
We've been together for 13 years.
Okay.
Our proposal will be the 10-year anniversary. I proposed to her on Thanksgiving.
Remind me, were you good at that?
So you could remember? Did you propose on Thanksgiving?
Right. I can't wait till Christmas. I love you.
Yeah,
I feel
that would be a
terrible.
Thanksgiving would be terrible because it's never the same day. It's the only time Christians get the feeling of a Jewish holiday is
right.
No, it was amazing. Like I remember we everyone went around and said what they were thankful for, and I closed. As I should have, and I just told her I was thankful for her, and I got down on a knee, and but her family was there, and my family was there. It was awesome.
Did the families know? Like were you
nobody knew except my mom.
Okay. Wow. Did you feel, is her dad around? Like, did you feel you had to ask him, even though, what am I going to do? You better say yes, or it's going to be awkward.
Nah, her dad's Israeli. They got other problems.
Gotcha. Right. Sure. Don't bother me with this shit. And you're
adopted. Talk about it.
Right. Yeah, your adopted child.
He's like, are you Palestinian? No, you can marry my daughter.
Right. Your adopted child is now 1, correct? A full year. Congrats.
Yep. Thank you.
Oh, Logan. And,
I think at this time we dropped the adopted, right? A nice solid year.
Well, Keith can if he'd like to.
I saw on Instagram you were saying, like, the way I remember it, you're actually giving joy to so many people, like DMV workers, the airport.
When you bring a baby with you,
yeah, it's a gift that you're giving to everybody. Also,
yeah, except Costco.
Right.
No amount of joy could save the people there.
What about restaurants? Do you bring them to restaurants?
Oh yeah.
And people aren't. You know, I know that that's where a lot of people are like, oh fuck, or airplanes. You know, there's some
Yeah.
places where as much as people quote love babies, they're like, fucking not here. Yeah, a little bit.
I gave myself my own rules on that, like
I noticed.
he's flown like
And that's when I got my diagnosis.
yeah. No, he's flown like 11 times already.
Wow.
We just don't do red eyes.
Okay.
But it was like when he was born and we had to fly him. We had to go to the hospital to get him, and he was on the other side of the country. We had to fly him when he was 2 weeks old. So it was like we got used to that early, and it was, he's pretty good. He doesn't cry much on planes and restaurants every once in a while. I like to eat outside with him if preferably. But I think it's like, there's a level of fancy restaurant you're not going to go to. But you know what? Cheesecake Factory, you deal with the screams of a child.
Sure. Because
If
we
you
want to
have
scream eating there. Yeah. As
if you
adults.
have a booster seat, my child gets
Yeah.
to come here.
Sure. Right.
Yeah, exactly. And most places that we go to do, and it's also theme restaurants are better because they're
loud.
built for that stuff. They know how to take care of it. They're accommodating. They often have the changing tables.
And the crayons and the thing for
Yeah.
the kids at the table. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Henda right that you don't? Do I not say adopted? I don't think it's a less than word, but you did pick this person up on his fucking birthday. Is adopted a weird word?
I don't think so, but I don't want him to see himself as that. I think is the big thing. It's
Right.
I don't
I just
want
want to know if the parents fucked and had the baby. That's why I'm really
Look,
interested.
every time someone says he's gorgeous and beautiful, I know he's not
Right.
from my ball sack.
We get it. You're saying adopted.
No, but there's like, yeah, there's always issues and stuff like that. I had to learn because I was always doing it. Like he's adopted, and then I had to just like, I would like even point it out after, like we would go to like a party, like a kid's birthday party or something, and I'd say to Dina, I didn't mention he was adopted once. He was just our child.
My son.
Yeah, my son. Yeah, but because it's he's gonna know there's the zero transparency. I mean
Yeah.
there's all 100% transparency. Zero transparency with him not knowing, and and I think it's really important that he knows. And from what I've read, a lot of resentment that adopted kids have is when they're not told and shit like that. So he's gonna know. I just don't want him to be raised thinking that's all he is.
Sure.
I don't want him to see that where he's less than.
Do you find you get more credit being a dad than your wife does? Like, oh, look at Mike and his kid, so beautiful. And does Adina go like, he just picked them up? Calm the fuck down. The guys get a lot more
because
credit.
I'm a 40-year-old who dresses like a 6-year-old and has 2 different pairs of shoes on. Yeah.
Look at
Look
that.
like
You
a human
both did it
platypus.
this morning.
Yeah.
He handed a raw egg to his son. That's so sweet.
Oh, that pedophile is actually that boy's father.
He's
Do
adopted.
you wait? So you name your kid Logan. Obviously, that's Wolverine's name.
Yep.
Do now that
You
especially
look the most like Wolverine right now. Can I say that?
That kid.
right?
Like it's like you're going for the part.
Do
And that's I don't know much about X-Men, but that is of course my favorite character, and I assume it's everybody's, or am I making that up?
everybody likes him? Everybody likes Wolverine.
I prefer
Because
Colossus, but I wasn't gonna, have Colossus Lawrence.
Right.
I just
Well-
love the idea of like my own body healing myself. Thank you.
Right. And knives coming up and hurting people and not knowing it. When X-Men now is probably gonna have some pretty cool movies around it. Do you get nervous they're gonna fuck it up and Logan grows up and is like, you named me after him? Like, is there a lot of pressure on the Marvel writers?
No, because they're, the movie Logan is still good, and that will always be
Right.
good. And I'm friends with Jason Reitman, who directed this movie called the front runner, and I was in it. I had 5 lines in a movie with Hugh Jackman, and I hung
Okay.
out with Hugh Jackman, and he is the most amazing person, and that was part of why I named him Logan. Also, of like knowing, like, because I that was my fear, was like, what if something happens with Hugh Jackman? I'm like,
Yeah.
he's a good dude. I think it's okay. Like,
No,
knowing
it's
that the guy
true.
who plays Logan is fucking cool.
That's something to think about. That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, he came to see me do stand up. And after that, every time he would see me on set, he'd just be like, "Hey, Mike, you gigging tonight? You got a gig? You got a gig?"
Did he say anything after your set?
Oh, he loved it. Yeah, yeah.
Was he specific? Because it is unnerving when people are like, you did great. And it's like,
I
just
know.
one thing, just one. Did he
I know. That's I
mention?
always think whenever I compliment a comic, or or a musician, or whatever it is, give a specific. Just let them know you were actually in the room.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Did he do that, or was it just a general you were hilarious?
Yeah, he like mentioned a joke. I did. I
Do you
don't.
now preface that joke with, listen, Hugh liked
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
So
You don't gotta like this because Hugh like it.
Right.
Fuck
You
you, love Hugh. No.
you send another Raider a joke and you CC Hugh so everybody sees it.
It was my McDonald's. He's like, He's like, you worked at McDonald's that long? Oh, mate, that's rough.
All right, he sounds like a good guy. I see this on Instagram. 5 things I've learned as a first-year parent. 1, listen to the pediatrician. Don't go online. Was that a problem? Like you'd Google sneeze and your kid has prostate cancer?
Yeah, people
Like,
do that shit. It's like the doctors are amazing because they'll just tell you what it is and they'll help you. But you go online and it's people who don't trust doctors, which
right.
definitely that was a thing before, but now there's a real dividing line of that who that kind of person is after
Yeah.
the pandemic.
Also with children, especially babies, I feel like it's mostly cookie cutter stuff, right? That this doctor has seen 50 million times and could identify it before you even finish your description. I imagine, right?
Yeah, but it's like, you know what it is? It's, like the first time he got a fever, it was very scary. But then it talked to the doctor. The doctor was like, you know what? Adina's coughing as I'm talking about. No, but the doctor was like, it's okay. Babies get fevers. Just having like an
Right.
expert tell you, and because the first 3 months are the scariest because they have no immune system.
Right.
And neither
And
do you. It's like, oh my God, I got to feed this person right. And I haven't been feeding myself right. It's like you got to double conscious it.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I mean the internet, I mean we Keith and the girl of course, online. I say, "Oh, I pulled my back and I don't even know how." And it's like, "I know, Keith, I have it, lupus." And I'm like, "What? What? What?" Yeah, you got to see a professional. Work on your own mental health, you rate, since babies can feel stress. See the world through new, hopeful eyes.
Did
Did a
you really
Yeah.
doctor
see
tell you
that?
that? How do you know they feel stress? I mean, of course they do. Animals do, but
Because I was stressed. Like, this was a big thing with sleeping. Like, I would be holding him and I'd be so worried about when he was going to sleep, and that was what was keeping him up.
mm,
And when I learned to just relax, and I mean, the main reason I got the autism diagnosis was to navigate being a parent,
Hmm.
and learning not to let the things that always freak me out as much.
okay, sure. That they say kids teach you more. Kids teach you. They learn from
Yeah.
you, you learn from. Is he really teaching you shit?
Yeah, he is.
Like just what, patience?
Just like long
Because
division,
what
super quick.
yeah, are you learning about fucking space is exciting after all? Like what
He's
could he
also
be
autistic.
teaching you? Right.
Yeah, they're teaching you because like the hopeful eyes thing. It's like it is so rare to be around someone with zero cynicism, and that's
Right.
like one of the really beautiful parts about being a parent. They're teaching you like how cool shit is. Like, like water is awesome. The way that water
I
feels.
keep
And
telling Keith, he makes fun of me.
Right. I
I'm like,
did it once. I did water once on ecstasy. It was pretty fucking cool.
but the
See?
first time you put a baby in the water, like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
They're blown away, and it makes you like see things again. You're like, oh wow, it really does like give you a second chance in a way of like experiencing, a joy in things.
I mean,
I
we pay a lot of money to sit in a tub for some time. Like we pay
Right.
a lot of money for water situations. It's amazing that it comes out of our faucet.
I
Yeah.
re-
Maybe
I
I'm
re-
one.
I'm mad that I can't really swim, and people try to teach me. I think it's kind of too late, to be honest.
Well, you've
But
been floating by on this podcast for 18 years.
thank you. That's sweet. Hey, good to have you. We missed you.
All
We knew a
right.
baby didn't change you, you piece of shit.
You
Thank
can't swim, but you can coast.
Do you have you? Are you gonna throw your baby in water? Because I wish that was done to me.
Yeah,
Like literally, do you throw them in and they figure it out? Are you gonna do that? I'm not joking. I've seen it. I wish it was done to me.
Yeah, that's what the movie Naiad taught me.
Right.
Go to Cuba.
Do you like have right? Everybody's seen these videos, right? I'm not nuts.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
there's this thing where if they're young enough, and I think it's under one, so you might have just missed it, but I don't know. I don't know how long they have this, where you can actually put the baby underwater and it'll naturally, instinctively hold its breath, and then you bring it up, and so by the time you want to take the kids swimming, they already are not so scared to hold their breath. They're not scared to put their head under the water. I don't know if I don't know. You got to have like, a lot of like a deep breath and then do that to a kid, I think. Did you do it?
If only Matthew Perry's parents had done that 54 years ago.
Oh,
Right.
shit.
Just kneel. Never mind. Stand up. Why can't I just be thrown in water and figure out how to float or swim? I'm not thinking. Oh, you're thinking about your bills, your ex, your deadlines. I'm thinking to live. Why can't I do it as an adult?
I can't do it either. I think it is like an anxiety thing.
Yeah.
You're gonna drown because you think you're gonna drown.
The irony. Oh boy. Oh boy. Marvel movies. Are we? We're going to see everyone till the end of time, right? They got us.
I don't know, man. This last one,
Ms. Marvel, you didn't. The Marvels, you didn't care for.
Yeah, I saw it, but this ties into parenting too, where it's like I used to go to the movies all the time. It's so much harder to go,
right?
And most of the movies I've still gone to this year have been the superhero ones, and I feel like an addict.
Wow.
Like, when I go to a superhero movie now and it sucks, and I just look at the marquee of the other movies I could have seen instead that I may have enjoyed.
Right.
It's a bummer. Like I saw this movie Bottoms. It was really funny.
Right.
It was like the first non-superhero movie I had seen in like 6 months in a theater. Like I should do that more.
Right. Oh, they got me. I maybe I'm not smart enough for it, but Loki really upsets me. I'm mad at Loki the way the world should be because he's a piece of shit that killed so many people. I watched it like it was work, and when it was done, I was like, I did that.
Well, it's interesting because what's happening with the comics, I mean, what's happening with comic book movies is what happened with comic books to a lot of comic book fans. Is that the comic books like had an oversaturation in the 90s, and even like a generation of us who loved all this shit, they just changed it too much and they made it too confusing, and the market crashed, and it's never fully recovered. I mean, and I think that's happening now. It's people don't want to work to watch something, and it's also diminishing returns.
But isn't it making more and more money every time they put a movie out, or am I just making that up?
Now
No,
it's not.
Oh, really?
No, Marvel's had the lowest opening ever of a Marvel movie.
Oh.
Of an MCU
the name
movie.
is very confusing. Try to Google the Marvels and find the movie The Marvels.
But it's you have to watch 2 different TV shows to know who 2 of the different people are,
Yes.
and it wasn't finished. Like that was the thing. Like I'd left kind of annoyed because I paid $20 for like, it's like if someone just put a piece of meat on your plate and said, "You cook it."
So Korean barbecue.
Yeah. Yes, Korean barbecue. That was so funny when we went. We took Adita's father to Korean barbecue, and when the bill came, he's like, "They charge us full price. We cook it."
Right.
He was so pissed.
I remember doing that. I did it more than once, and it's fun at first, but then they come over and do it anyway. They're like, "You're not doing it right." There you go.
It's the self checkout of dining.
Right. We're watching
That's why
you.
I just put a bunch of pork in my fuck you guys.
Yeah, but you don't pay as much as if you do the dishes. If you wanted like the extras,
Yeah.
that's bonus money.
You
Keith, would you like to get pissed at our listeners because they wrote in a little bit? Let's go back.
always.
Let's
I
go
like
back
it.
a subject or two.
All right.
Anna,
Yeah, no.
I hope you took a deep breath. Okay, Anna, my mom learned to swim in her 40s. There's still time, Keith. Hold it.
Here's what's gonna happen. Me and Anna are gonna hang out.
Well,
She's
this
gonna be
show
so
isn't called Your Mom and the Girl, is it?
Thank you. She's gonna
Maybe he can't do what she did.
right. And your mom's amazing. Okay. Who do you talk about more, me or your mom? Of course, your mom. Come on. She'll be one of those people that is with me when I swim, and then I kind of could swim, but I'm holding my breath. That I know that's not right. And then they go, "I did it. I taught you how to swim." And then I let them have a good day. I learned nothing. It was a fun hang. That's my help.
And then Glitter Neurosis says Keith can swim, just not when people are watching. And then Pizza wrote, didn't Keith win a Katka for almost drowning? So he keeps proving over and over that he almost dies every time he gets near the sea. So I don't know if you could swim.
Oh, a wave hurt my rib. Yeah, I'm made out of crackers, for God's sakes. I don't think I'm ready for that.
Is that why
kind
they
of
call you
bullshit.
Cracker?
I don't know why. I never looked into it, but you Google something, all of a sudden again, you have prostate cancer. I'm really not sure why they say that. Do you have family in Israel? Is that true? Like I saw it on Instagram.
Yeah,
It doesn't seem like a joke. Do you? Are you in touch?
Yeah. Our one of Adina's nieces came to visit. It's Adina's family, but I'm married to them, so I guess they're my family.
Okay. If you say baby, then I guess you say family.
Yeah. Yeah, I have family there. Yeah.
Is it stressful? Meaning, like, do you take phone calls? Do you seem to know you can only do what you can do, which isn't much. Like, is there anything you do on your end? I'm not saying what you could.
No, I mean, she visited and we just, we showed her a good time and
right.
And I mean, that's kind of my take on a lot of this stuff is like, don't go online and try to change the world. Like, be good to the people in your own life, and that's how a lot of things get better.
I have parents, and most of my family are in Israel. And even when my parents moved back there, people are like, really? They moved back to Israel? Because it's always a war. There's always a bombing. There's always something. And one of their bedrooms is a bomb shelter. This is not new. This is always like
it's culturally ingrained.
Even when I was saying, like, in my adult life to other adults, I'm gonna go visit Israel, they're like, oh, are you nervous? Things like that. And you can't fault people for that. Like, all my life it says Chefetz Chashud, which is on the bus and everywhere. If you leave your bag somewhere, they shut down that bus, the street, so to see if that thing is a bus. It's like the see something, say something has
a
always
little
been there.
Like in America, it's your penis or something, but over there.
Yeah, it's always been like that. And like I said, bomb shelters have always been part of people's homes. So I think this is the next
But I was saying, picture, like your parents come there showing you their place again, and it's like, here's the bomb shelter, but honestly, we don't even use it anymore. It's kind of a waste.
Well, now, it really just takes up real estate, but it's a bedroom, so it's very convenient.
You start wallpapering it.
I mean, one of the craziest things was like the first like week or two after the first big attack in Gaza, and there was the shooting here in Maine where like 22 people passed away, and like I was like, I think the Middle East is going to get resolved before they fix the guns here.
Right. Right.
It's like we also still have our own shit that just keeps getting worse.
Yeah, we're in the news just fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Happier topic, Halloween. What did you go as?
I went as Brett the Hitman Hart
Because
I look really fat in a singlet.
both of you don't know who you are.
Yeah.
He really thinks he still has the old physique, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And your kid is Batman. Do you get nervous that, like, I don't believe in God? Sometimes, in fact, I try to believe in him just to hate him. And I'm sure this whole came from my dad. Do you get nervous he's gonna fight against loving superheroes?
Oh yeah, but here's the thing: he doesn't have my genetics, so he's going to be an amazing athlete.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's gonna be a
this is all
superhero.
intentional.
Right. I make him knock books out of my hand. I grab his hand. He gets a book out of my hand. It's not connecting yet, but he'll get it.
I say on stage, I'm like, I assure you, this isn't a blindside situation. We actually adopted him.
Right. God damn, what a story that is. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Here's a letter here, Hemda, if I may. And
Please.
Mike, you're here.
I hope.
Jeff writes, hi, this is Jeff in Halifax, and I give plenty of shits about this message. I'm just here to add my name to the pile of thank yous for all the shows, laughs, rants, bullshit, and memories. It feels messed up that a couple of podcast hosts can feel so important, but you are. Thank you. I want to tell you about my favorite Keith and the Girl memory. It's a very small thing, but it makes me laugh every time I think about it. About 10 years ago, I was at a Canada Day concert wearing one of my Keith and the Girl t-shirts, as instructed. I was chatting with friends before the show started, and I noticed the guy giving me a funny look from across the area. I didn't know what to make of it when he started jogging in my direction. He gets right up to me, sticks his hand up for a high five, and yells, "Party!" with a super intense look on his face.
Super party.
When me and Hemda were dating, she would leave the house, and I'd try to make her jealous, like she's missing out on a party at home, and I just yelled to myself, "Party! Super party!"
I believe the timing was as I'm closing the door, party. The second,
right.
The second came like as I'm walking away, super party, because it's
so
like
clever.
Yeah.
The fact that you both have different recollections of this is why it didn't work.
It didn't work out. It didn't work out.
Let's make you a list, Mike.
I don't know what it was. Maybe just encountering an internet thing in the real world, but I totally blanked and had no idea what this guy was yelling about. I was wearing my friend Adam saw these shirts, and they're like airbrushed, like corny looking, but it's what's Aaliyah?
Mm-hmm.
It's an Aaliyah shirt. And I get I got nods, and then somebody said, "Fuck yeah," and I'm like, "What the fuck is happening?"
You mean the singer?
Yeah.
You were wearing a shirt of Aaliyah?
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm hip, and I didn't know what the fuck people were talking about.
He thinks amazing. He's hip.
That's good. Come on, that's pretty cool. You see someone with Aaliyah, that's pretty cool.
You're getting high fives on the street. What else could it be?
I didn't know what was happening. He tries again, yelling "party" at the top of his lungs. At this point, I'm looking to a friend for help. This dude is looking super defeated, and it's only after he starts slinking away that I clue in, and I give him the super party response that he's owed. I'll always remember how dumb I felt when I finally realized what was going on. Well, that's the point of the show. You guys have been a constant in my life for most of my adult years. Whatever comes next for the show and whatever projects you guys take on, if it's public facing, I'll be in the audience. Thank you. Who are L'chaim? Keep punching waves. Well, I can't swim, so that's why I punch waves. No Brumsky and party. Super party, Jeff in Halifax. How sweet is that?
No Brumsky, old school. Wow, so many references.
Yeah, may I say this too? It's been a week, and we are halfway to our Kickstarter goal.
Whoop, whoop.
KeithandTheGirl.com/kick. Everyone who contributes to the Kickstarter is getting a ticket and a copy of the final silent trailer show. It's an exclusive ticket, a live show in December. And check out the show pass reward, if I may say. You get 2 tickets to the virtual Keith and the Girl studio. You can see how Mike Lawrence sets up, for example. You could see if we're talking about something that's not him, that he'd rather die. You and a friend will be guests in the Keith and the Girl studio when we record a regular episode. You may also request your favorite Keith and the Girl comedian to join, subject to
I
availability.
want to die half the time you're talking about me, so that's not fair.
This is better. You'll have the opportunity to be on air if you desire. We'll have some fun. Book your episode before Hemda leaves, or grab the first episode that Keith will be doing without Hemda. Get this or any rewards only while the Kickstarter is running. KeithandtheGirl.com/kick.
So for that reward, just to give you a little understanding about how it happens, the Kickstarter ends, and then I reach out to you and get the best date that works for you when we're recording. And we even make little changes in our schedule if it works better for you on a different day, different time. So first come, first serve. So if you get that, you get the first date to pick of next year. Second person gets a second date.
KeithandtheGirl.com/kick. Mike, it's so good to see you. It's so fun to follow your career. It really is. We love Adina, of course. We're starting to get into your kid too. The Instagram is very fun to watch. I mean it. And by the way, again, what a cool name, Logan. I'm thinking if I have a kid, I'm working on either Jolene or Jezebel. But Logan's a pretty fucking cool name. And I sounds like you got this figured out. When's the last time you cried?
When he heard Jolene or Jezebel, the song.
Saturday, on his birthday. I cried.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Well, congrats. All right. We love you. We love your family. Anything the audience should know?
The Marvels in theaters now.
This guy's he's got to make a buck too. He's sold out, but a commercial is a commercial. Thank you, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Stick around for a minute if you don't mind. Hemda's going to close up.
I just want to follow up. We love Anna. She says my mom went to classes at a gym for months and that Anna can barely swim. So I don't know why she's making you learn how to swim. And she can, maybe she wants to take classes with you. I do it. I go to like these kids, like pools that I assume, it's swimming to teach kids. Anytime I ask them, they like smile like, no, not for adults. Yeah,
it's very embarrassing.
Yeah, I guess there's just no swim lessons in New York for adults. Like that's the one thing it doesn't have. That's so weird. All right, you all. Oh, Monday is going to be silent trailers. If you're listening to this, make sure that you're subscribed. Click all the buttons in front of you. See you guys later.